Have you ever wondered what made Steve Jobs great? He was not only the founder of Apple, but also an icon of innovation and creativity. His life is a testament to groundbreaking thinking and strong principles of life. In today's video, let's explore with Legacy of Thinkers, 10 succeeding secrets of Steve Jobs that created an empire and inspired millions of people around the world. Secret 1. Pursue your passion. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. Steve Jobs believed that passion is the greatest driving force that helps people overcome challenges. When you truly love what you do, you will have enough perseverance and energy to pursue it to the end, even when facing seemingly insurmountable difficulties. On the contrary, if you only work out of obligation or follow what society expects, you will easily feel discouraged, lose motivation and give up at the first challenge. 1. How to find true passion. Steve Jobs did not advise you to find your passion immediately, but instead, experience and explore. He studied calligraphy while dropping out of college, and although no one thought it was useful, it was this knowledge that helped him design the beautiful typeface on the first Mac. That shows that sometimes passion does not appear immediately, but needs time to be discovered and nurtured. 2. Persist in your passion. Even when you have found your passion, the journey to pursue it will not be easy. When Steve Jobs founded Apple, he could not immediately create great success. He experienced countless failures, even being fired from the company he created. But thanks to his strong belief in the work he was doing, he continued, and then came back, turning Apple into one of the greatest companies in the world. Lesson learned. If you haven't found your passion, keep looking. If you have found it, persevere and turn it into a career, because only by doing what you truly love can you achieve greatness. Secret 2. Dare to think differently, think different. One of Steve Jobs' most famous quotes is, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." This philosophy is not just a slogan, but a guiding principle for Steve Jobs' entire life and career. He believed that to make a difference, people cannot follow the beaten path, but must dare to innovate, challenge old standards and find their own way. 1. Different thinking creates success. Since he was young, Steve Jobs always asked the question, "Why did it like that? Is there a better way?" Thanks to this critical thinking, he constantly innovated and found breakthrough solutions, changing the entire technology industry. When creating Macintosh, iPod, iPhone, he not only improved existing products, but also redefined the way people interact with technology. 2. Dare to think differently is to dare to take risks. To dare to think differently, you must be brave to face opposing opinions. When Steve Jobs launched the iPhone, a phone without a physical keyboard, many people thought it was a crazy idea, but he believed in his vision and persistently pursued it. The result? The iPhone became a revolutionary product, completely changing the way people use phones. 3. Applying the think different philosophy to life. Not only in business, the think different philosophy can be applied to any field. Dare to think differently means not being afraid to go against the majority, not being afraid to try new things and always looking for ways to optimize everything in life. If you only do what others have done, you will only achieve what they have achieved. But if you dare to change, dare to think differently, you can create breakthrough values. Lesson learned. The world is not changed by those who follow the old ways, but by those who dare to dream and do what no one has done. Dare to think differently, act differently and become a change maker. Secret 3. Don't be afraid of failure. In 1985, Steve Jobs was fired from the company he founded. It was a big shock to him, but instead of falling down, he chose to stand up and continue. He founded Next, a new technology company, and bought a small animation studio, which later became Pixar, the studio that created masterpieces like Toy Story or Finding Nemo. After many years, Apple fell into crisis and Steve Jobs was invited back. He reformed the entire company, launched revolutionary products such as iMac, iPod, iPhone, turning Apple into one of the most valuable companies in the world. 1. Failure is not the end. If Steve Jobs gave up after failure, perhaps Apple would never have had the chance to become the technology empire it is today. He once said, "Sometimes life will hit you in the head with a brick, Don't lose faith. The important lesson here is that failure is not the end, but an opportunity to start over with a better mindset. Successful people do not avoid failure. They learn from it, adjust their strategy and move on. 3. 2. Why should you not be afraid of failure? Failure is a valuable lesson. Every time you fail, you will understand yourself better. Know what you need to improve and avoid repeating mistakes. Failure makes you stronger. Great people are not those who have never failed, but those who know how to overcome it. Failure is part of creativity. If you want to innovate, want to create something truly different, you have to accept that there will be times when you make mistakes. But that's okay. 3. Applying the philosophy of not being afraid of failure to life. When you encounter difficulties, don't be discouraged. See it as an opportunity to learn and grow. If you fail once, try again, but with a different approach. Don't let the fear of failure stop you from pursuing your dreams. Keep moving forward. Lesson learned. No one has ever succeeded without failing. What matters is what you learn from that failure and how you get up after each fall. Secret 4. Always pursue perfection. Apple is famous for its exquisitely designed products, impeccable quality, and excellent user experience. This is not by chance, but comes from Steve Jobs' strict principles of life and thinking. He once said, "Quality is more important than quantity. Doing it well once is better than doing it many times but badly." For Steve Jobs, perfection was not just a goal, but a standard. He was willing to spend hours just to choose the right color scheme for the interface, request design changes just because of an imperfect corner, or redesign the entire product if it did not meet the requirements. It is this perfectionism that has helped Apple create iconic products that have won the hearts of millions of users around the world. 4. 1. Why is pursuing perfection important? Perfection makes you different. In a competitive world, only those who set high standards can stand out. Perfection creates lasting value. A good product not only helps businesses succeed but also creates long-term trust with customers. Perfectionism drives innovation. When you are not satisfied with the ordinary, you are forced to find ways to do better, to be more creative. 4. 2. Pursuing perfection in life. Not only in business, the mindset of doing the best you can be applied to all fields. Whether you are studying, working, or pursuing your personal passion, set high standards for yourself. This doesn't mean you have to wait for perfection to act, but rather constantly improve to achieve the best possible results. 4. 3. How to implement this philosophy. Work with heart. Even if it's a small task, do it with the utmost care and responsibility. Continuous improvement. Always ask yourself, can I do better? And constantly learn to improve your skills. Accept that perfection is a journey. You can't be perfect right away, but every day a little effort will get you closer to excellence. Lesson learned. Perfection is not a destination, but a process. Always set high standards. Constantly improve, and do your best. That will help you succeed and make a difference. Secret 5. Trust your intuition. Steve Jobs believed that intuition is one of the most powerful tools humans have. For him, there are decisions that cannot be based on data or logical analysis alone, but must be made by listening to one's inner voice. Intuition helps us realize what is truly important, even when the world around us cannot understand it. 5. 1. The story of calligraphy and creativity. When he was young, Steve Jobs took a calligraphy course, a field that seemed unrelated to technology. No one thought that knowledge would be useful, but it was this experience that helped him create the unique typography interface of the MacBook, contributing to the success of Apple. This proves that sometimes, we cannot foresee the value of something until the pieces gradually connect together. 5. 2. Intuition in creativity and innovation. Steve Jobs used intuition not only to design products, but also to lead the company. When Apple developed the iPhone, many people thought that the idea of eliminating the physical keyboard was a mistake. But Jobs trusted his intuition, that a device with only a touchscreen would provide a better experience. And the result? The iPhone completely changed the phone industry. 5. 3. Why is trusting your intuition important? Intuition helps you make bold decisions. Breakthrough ideas often come not from statistics, but from a feeling of certainty inside you. Intuition connects with passion. When you truly love a field, intuition will help you find the most suitable path. Intuition helps you overcome doubts. Many people may be skeptical of your choice. But if you feel it's right, dare to do it. 5. 4. How to develop intuition. Listen to yourself. Take time to reflect. Avoid letting outside opinions influence your decisions too much. Experience more. The more you are exposed to different fields, the sharper your intuition will be when connecting information. Trust your feelings. If you feel something is not right, your intuition may be warning you. On the other hand, if you feel energized by an idea, it may be a sign for you to pursue it. Lesson learned. Don't be afraid to do what feels right, even if others don't understand it. Intuition is the compass that guides you in the right direction, if you have the courage to listen. Secret 6. Put the customer first. Steve Jobs once said, "You have to start with the customer experience and work backwards to the technology." For him, a product is not just a device, but a comprehensive experience that users feel. Apple's success comes from constantly asking the question, what do customers really need, rather than simply, what products can we create? 6. 1. Different thinking about customers. While many technology companies focus on strong configurations and complex features, Steve Jobs chose a different path, creating simple but powerful products that are easy for users to access without deep understanding of technology. A typical example is the iPhone. Before the iPhone appeared, smartphones had complicated physical keyboards and confusing interfaces. But Jobs understood that customers needed a device that was intuitive, easy to use, and with just a few operations, they could do everything. The result? The iPhone completely changed the mobile industry. 6. 2. Customers don't always know what they want. Steve Jobs once said, "Sometimes, customers don't know what they want until you show it to them." He didn't rely entirely on customer surveys, because sometimes customers just think what they already know. Instead, he focused on understanding their real needs and creating products that they didn't expect but couldn't live without. 6. 3. Lessons for business and life. Understand what customers really want. Don't just listen to what they say. Simplify the experience. Don't overcomplicate things. Provide real value instead of just trying to sell the product. 6. 4. Putting this philosophy into practice. In business, whether you're selling a product or a service, ask yourself, is this really helping the customer? If the answer is no, change it. At work, create real value instead of just following a process. When you help customers or colleagues achieve their goals, you will also succeed. Lesson learned. Success does not come from creating a great product, but from helping customers have the best experience. When you truly focus on the customer, success will come to you. Secret 7. Don't waste time living someone else's life. Steve Jobs once said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." In society, many people live according to the expectations of family, friends, or social pressure, instead of listening to themselves. Steve Jobs believed that each person only has one life, and the most important thing is to dare to live true to your true self, instead of running after other people's standards. 7. 1. Live your life, not the expectations of others. Your life should not be defined by what others think. If you worry too much about what others think, you will easily get caught up in a lifestyle that is not yours. Doing work you do not love, and losing your true passion. Steve Jobs was not a person who followed a routine. When he dropped out of college, he did not worry about judgment, but took the time to learn what he really cared about. This is what helped him create revolutionary products such as the Macintosh, iPod, iPhone. 7. 2. How to stop living someone else's life. Listen to yourself. Take time to reflect on what makes you happy, passionate, and want to pursue. Be brave to pursue your dreams. Do not be afraid of failure or criticism. Successful people are always doubted before they prove their worth. Let go of fear. You can't please everyone, so focus on what matters most, yourself. 7. 3. Real-life lessons from Steve Jobs. When he was fired from Apple, Steve Jobs didn't regret following his own path. On the contrary, he said it was the best thing that ever happened to him, because he had the opportunity to start over without being bound by other people's expectations. Lesson learned. Live your own life, not the life others want for you. Dare to pursue your passion. Because time is limited, don't let it pass by meaninglessly. Secret 8. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Steve Jobs believed that simplicity, not a lack, but the pinnacle of sophistication. For him, a minimalist design not only makes the product more beautiful but also helps users experience it more easily and completely. This is the reason why Apple always stands out with its streamlined, intuitive but extremely powerful design. 8.1. Minimalism in technology, the essence of Apple. When developing the iPod, iPhone, MacBook, Steve Jobs always asked the design team to remove all unnecessary details to retain what is most important. He once directed the engineering team to redesign the Macintosh computer just because of an imperfect corner. That shows that minimalism is not about doing less, but doing better. Apple's difference does not come from the most powerful configuration or the number of features, but from the smooth and friendly experience, where technology serves people in the most natural way. 8.2. Minimalism in life. Happiness comes from simplicity. Not only in technology, Steve Jobs also applied minimalism to his personal life. He was famous for his wardrobe consisting of only the same black turtleneck, which helped him save time in making decisions, thereby focusing on the things that are really important. In life, we are often surrounded by too many choices, information and pressure. Minimalism helps us focus on core values, reduce stress and improve the quality of life. 8.3. How to apply the minimalist philosophy. Eliminate unnecessary things. Keep the things that are truly valuable in work, life and relationships. Focus on quality instead of quantity, instead of doing too many things at once. Choose the most important things and do them well. Simplify decisions. Reduce the choices in small things, helping you save energy for more important decisions. Lesson learned. Simplicity not only makes things easier, but also helps us live more efficiently and happily. Sometimes, the greatest things come from the simplest things. Secret 9. Always learn and grow. Steve Jobs once said, "Always be curious, always learn." For him, education is not limited to the classroom, but more importantly, the spirit of lifelong learning. He did not have a college degree, but that did not stop him from becoming one of the greatest entrepreneurs in the world. Success does not come from what you already know, but from the ability to constantly explore, develop yourself and learn new things. 9.1. Learn from everything around you. Steve Jobs learned not only from books, but also from real-life experiences. When he dropped out of college, he took a calligraphy course, without knowing how useful it would be. But later, it was that knowledge that helped him create beautiful typography on the Macintosh, creating a revolution in the technology industry. That shows, sometimes you can't see the value of what you learn right away, but when the pieces of life's puzzle come together, it can become your biggest advantage. 9.2. Keep growing to stay ahead. Steve Jobs believed that you can't stop learning if you want to succeed in the long term. Technology changes every day, and only those who keep growing can adapt and stay ahead in their field. When he returned to Apple in 1997, he completely changed the way the company operated, applying lessons from Pixar, Next, and previous failures. If he hadn't continued to learn, Apple probably wouldn't have been able to come back so strong. 9.3. How to keep learning and growing. Always ask questions. Never accept something just because it's always been that way. Ask yourself, how can I do it better? Real-world experience. Learning doesn't just come from books, but also from observing, experimenting and exploring. Expand your knowledge in multiple fields. Don't limit yourself to one field. The most creative ideas come from combining different sources of knowledge. Lesson learned. Curiosity is the key to success. Never stop learning, because the world is always changing, and only those who are constantly evolving can make a difference. Secret 10. Live as if today were your last day. Steve Jobs used to ask himself every morning, if today were the last day of your life, would you want to do what you are about to do today? He believed that death was not something to be feared, but a motivation to live a meaningful life. When you realize that your time is limited, you will no longer procrastinate or waste it on meaningless things. Instead, you will focus on what really matters. Dare to pursue your passion, and live a life you have no regrets. 10.1. Live with purpose. Don't postpone your dreams. Many people spend their lives doing jobs they don't love, just because they are afraid of change or worried about other people's opinions. Steve Jobs didn't want that. He dropped out of college, founded Apple, got fired, then came back and created products that changed the world. If he had been afraid or procrastinated, would the iPhone, iPad, Mac will the book ever be born? He understood that every moment is precious. And if you don't take advantage of it to do something meaningful, at the end of your life, you will only have regrets. 10. 2. Don't let time pass by meaninglessly. Dare to pursue what you really want. Don't let the fear of failure stop you. Eliminate the unimportant things. Don't waste time on jobs that don't bring value or toxic relationships. Live with passion and dedication. Do things that make you proud, even if no one sees. 10. 3. Lessons from Steve Jobs. When he learned that he had cancer, he cherished every moment even more. In his speech at Stanford in 2005, he emphasized that death is the strongest motivation to live life to the fullest. Lesson learned. Every day is a gift. Live fully. Love. Create. Pursue your passion and don't let anything stop you. If today is your last day, do something truly meaningful. So we have just discovered 10 secrets of Steve Jobs' success. These are not just empty words, but the principles that helped him build one of the greatest companies in the world. And you can also apply these lessons to your life. Which secret impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you find this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel to watch the next valuable content.